Now on CNET Central.
Welcome to Beyond.
Cults go online and the whole net takes the heat. We've got a full report.
It's a perfect route for cults to go to both bring in money and to look for new recruits.
Netscape and Microsoft square off in the latest round of the browser war. Hari Srinivasan gives us the blow-by-blow.
The Star Wars hype continues with a slew of new games from LucasArts.
Plus, Desmond's underground answer to the new DVD players. And Sofie introduces us to ActiveX.
And Disney's new partnership with Microsoft is a blast for kids and the best of the web, right now on CNET Central.
Now, from the #1 on-air and online information source for the digital age, this is CNET Central.
Hi, I'm Richard Hart.
And I'm Gina St. John. Welcome to CNET Central.
Last week's mass suicide in Rancho Santa Fe has left many questions. We may never really know why some members of the Heaven's Gate cult took their lives, or exactly how big a role the internet and computers played in what happened.
Since the tragedy, there have been many news reports about the dangers of the web. Many people working within the internet industry charge that these reports of cults online have been grossly exaggerated.
But others aren't so sure. In fact, highly respected experts in the field of cults and new religions say that the internet is cult-like by nature and will continue to attract individuals considered to be prime targets for self-made cult leaders.
Welcome to Beyond Human. The last call.
Experts say the man who called himself Doe, Marshall Herff Applewhite, fit the bill of a classic self-proclaimed spiritual leader.
I'm Doe.
And they say he used the internet and his website to help him.
A lot of these very bright, technically proficient people, they may have been socially inept and socially starved, but they, I'm sure, had been, in a sense, enticed through the internet, or there was some sort of calling card, perhaps fairly subtle, that they responded to, and they were roped in that way.
Tal Brook works for the Spiritual Counterfeit Project, a think tank in Berkeley, California that follows trends in cults and new religions.
I'm going to hit gurus.
Brook says the net can turn anyone into a virtual guru, and that more and more cults are starting to use their websites to draw in new recruits.
You know, it's a great way to sort of leave your calling card hanging in cyberspace saying, this is me, here's my URL, hit it, we'll network you to other pages, and by the way, we're going to be in town physically in 3 weeks, and we're going to be giving a talk.
They're rushing you and they're saying, oh, we love you, come be with us, you know, this is wonderful, we're having this workshop only this weekend, if you don't come this weekend, it'll never happen again. Well, that's hogwash. I mean, the workshop's going to happen again.
Yanya Lalich knows firsthand how cults recruit people. A former cult member herself, Yanya now works to get people out. She says the net is just one manipulative tool used by cult leaders to lure in new members.
I mean, at some point, they have to make personal contact. I mean, as far as I know, cult recruitment only works by that personal contact, by me looking at you and sweet-talking you into coming along with me.
If you do what I say to do, if you believe that I have the information that you need.
Yanya says Applewhite could not have persuaded 38 adults to commit suicide through a web page alone, but that the sterile and orderly surroundings in which they worked to survive were a way of detaching them from reality so that they could die.
If you think about it, it's isolated work where you don't have to be around other people. It's fast money, it's good money, and there's a lot of jobs out there. There's a lot of work.
Initial reports said the cult believed there was a spacecraft approaching behind the comet Hale-Bopp, and that by committing suicide, or as they put it, vacating their vessels, they could join up with that alien ship and evolve to the next level. It turns out they're not the only cult with beliefs centered around UFOs. In fact, the internet is filled with websites that deal with UFOs and aliens. And experts warn that with the new millennium coming, cult and cult-like activity on the net will heat up.
There's a lot of information out there, and I think the counterpoint to all this, there are vast numbers of former members of these groups, as well as cult education organizations, putting up information. And that kind of thing is very helpful, because then the person can maybe run into the cultic group and look over at the next link and see that, you know, there's another side to this story. So it's also giving our side, so to speak, that exposure to millions of people, and that's a good thing.
And you'll find if you type in the word cult or cults at a site such as search.com, you're likely to find a long list of anti-cult sites as well. Lalich says that many people seeking help have found her through the World Wide Web.
Thanks, Richard. Now, whatever you're looking for on the web, one thing is sure. You're going to need a web browser to find it. And the browser giants Microsoft and Netscape are in the process of releasing new versions of their software. So here to give us the lowdown is our own reporter, Hari Srinivasan.
Thanks, Gina. In round 4 of this battle, both Microsoft and Netscape deliver much more than a simple browser. What they're offering now are large software suites that have begun to blur the distinction between your browser and your desktop. So those of us that are just used to a browser are going to find a lot more.